Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Dom,
I'm Jamie.
and welcome back to the cutting room floor. Today, I put Jamie. I had him make a stop on the Trier train, like I've been saying I'm gonna do. So I had him watch 2000's Dancer in the Dark, directed by Lars von Trier. Has a 70% on Rotten Tomatoes, a 7.9 on IMDb, and a 4.2 on Letterboxd. So some pretty good scores there.
What was the budget? I'm just curious. Can you find
I
that?
can find that real quick.
Because of the way that it was filmed,
It's probably more than you think.
Yeah. That's what's weird because it looks like a Clerks or a Desperado
like
kind
it
of budget.
Easily be $40,000, $50,000. It was probably a few million.
But it's really more like the camera. Because even
12.5 fucking million.
Really?
That's insane, right?
Yeah. Because even I noticed the ending credits, they show scenes from the film.
Mm-hmm.
Even they're processed differently than the actual film was.
Yes.
Because they look like the cinematic
like a
process.
Movie you come to see.
Yeah. Instead of
like
an old camcorder
in the backyard.
Yeah.
And edited on the most basic program on a Windows 98.
Yeah.
But
yeah, but I think it adds some kind of authenticity to the film.
Oh yeah, it made $45 million though, so not too bad.
It made more than its budget.
Definitely one of his more successful films, money wise. So Jamie, why don't you go ahead and tell us what you thought about Dance in the Dark? Because I wanted to put this guy on a Lars film, so I gave him 3 to choose from, and this is the one he ended up with. This could have been the house that Jack built, and we'd be having a really interesting conversation.
Well, I wanted to start off with, didn't this win awards?
Yeah, Bjork won. This won the Palm, and Bjork won Best Actress at Cannes too.
Yeah, so I guess I wanted to start off with something that I knew I'd heard of.
Yeah, and you know Bjork.
Yeah, everyone knows Bjork.
Iceland's finest.
Yeah, I mean, Bjork is like the next county over, right?
She really? Real shit.
Yeah. So I'm starting to watch this thing, and I didn't know what to expect. At first, I thought I was accidentally watching a documentary of the making of the film.
Yeah. I probably should have told you.
Yeah.
Don't be off-put by the shitty look.
Yeah. But it has that documentary kind of film style to it.
Yeah.
So that's actually what I thought at first, because it starts off with them practicing the Sound of Music.
Yeah.
And this is going to sound even dumber, but it took me halfway through the film to realize that it takes place in the early 60s.
Yeah. Well, dude, no. First time I watched it, I was I'd say about 45 minutes in. I was like, what time period is this? I was like, because this shit is definitely, it's back in the day, but I'm like, this could be the 40s maybe, the 50s maybe, 60s.
There's a couple things that tipped me off as to the exact time period. The latest it could have taken place is early 1961, the latest. Because in the dude's office where she works, he has Eisenhower's picture up. And when you have a picture of the president,
that puts a date on you.
And Eisenhower was, the early 50s to 1961 when Kennedy took over in early 61. But the musical Sound of Music only came out in 1959.
So it might have been, I would say 1960.
60,
Yep, 60 exactly. So you're right there.
Because I was looking at the cars, I'm like, oh, this is the 50s. That explains all the anti-communist
stuff.
Yes. And the fact that she is a foreigner, but from a communist country, so it's easy to pin something on her.
Yep.
And it's easy for a jury to be like, well, fuck her, let's kill her.
Yeah. And I mean, and clearly where she lived, they were back probably about 10 years.
Oh, yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
yeah.
So that's why I thought it was the 50s too.
Yeah.
And then I was like, I don't know, but I'm like, it's definitely no later than the 60s. It's definitely not 70s or newer.
It's right on the cusp, if it is, only because of when the musical The Sound of Music came out.
But they're living they're in 1938.
Yeah,
and
their
gear,
it was backwoods.
You have the cars, the gear, everyone's a little
backwards.
A little downsy type. They're all a little they all are questionable. Pretty much every character is too.
Yeah, you're
except
right.
Maybe Kathy and Bill.
And it's weird because it shows it's almost like an anti that during the baby boom and stuff and I think I said something dumb last week. I think I called it the Industrial Revolution, but that's not it because that was like 100 years before. But after World War II, when everything picked up,
Yeah.
and you have like nuclear families,
Yeah.
so it's almost like an anti-nuclear family, Leave It to Beaver kind of
Yeah, it
film.
is.
It's goes against everything you think of when you think of that time period in American history.
Yeah, because she's a single mom.
She's a single
And
mom.
it's kind of, the film
Yeah.
is kind of showing you she's a strong single mother too, and she really
Yeah.
doesn't need the help of a guy. All those women's going blind.
Yeah. And that's a sad thing because she couldn't see what was going to happen to her.
She really
like we could as the viewer.
It's a rough film. So basically, what this film is it stars Bjork, the Icelandic singer. Human behavior. All that fire. And honestly,
you love Bjork.
I do. I was just gonna say,
you
honestly,
love the Sugar Cubes and Bjork.
Yeah,
we talked about it before.
Sugar Cubes are awesome. Bjork, I actually do enjoy her music. Now, not all of it, because some of her stuff you're like, okay, what the hell is this? And then some of it's like, God, this shit's hard.
Some of her like costuming in the past, she was almost like the original Lady
Gaga,
right?
Yep, that's what I was like. I was always like, Lady Gaga definitely took a page from Bjork's book.
Yeah,
and she still dresses all crazy. Even I think she's like mid-60s or something.
58.
That's it.
Yeah, she was born in 65. So she was like 30, mid-30s when this film was made.
All right, I thought she was around 40. Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, she's still going crazy with the costumes and all that, but she's got some great. Her debut was fucking hard, man. I love that album. I actually listened to it at the gym quite a bit. But Bjork, I was very interested when I first saw this to see how she was going to act, because I'm like, she's not really known for her acting. But this film is about a woman she's a Czech woman, a Czech immigrant, and she moves to America for a very specific reason. She has some kind of disease or whatever.
A degenerative eye disease.
Yeah, and she's going blind. And it's like, at the beginning of the film, it feels like she can see. Yeah. And then like 30 minutes in, it feels like this bitch can't see a damn thing.
Yeah. Something you realize, like, she's just memorized everything.
Yo, yes, that's what I was like.
Everything in her sphere.
Because I'm like, man, it seems like she can see. And then I'm like, yo, this bitch can't see.
Yeah, because those Coke bottles she was wearing, man.
I was like, them things are she's looking like Robert De Niro and I was like, damn, she got the De Niros on.
She did, you're right.
So I thought everyone just took a page off that book later on and was like, yo, if any character in my film's got to wear glasses, they got to look like Robert De Niro.
They have to.
So she has a child, and she knows that this child's fate is going to be the same as hers. So she's been saving up money to get this operation for her son so he can have his vision as he gets older.
You can only get it in America.
Yeah, but I was just going to say,
No,
you're good. We can only get this surgery here.
Yeah.
So it's exclusive to us. And, these things aren't cheap. So she's just been stacking up bread little by little by little. And she puts this money in it looked like an old cookie tin.
It did, yeah. It was like a metal cookie.
Yeah, it was like like they have those little,
the butter cookies.
Yes.
The Belgian butter cookies.
Yeah, which
not that
I used to love.
How did you know right away what it was? Well, you don't get this physique by saying no to Belgian butter cookies.
They're so good, though.
They are.
I used to love those when I ate that stuff.
Yeah, because they're like shortbread.
Yes. And dude, bro, Girl Scout shortbreads back in the day with a fresh glass of 2%. So good.
Dude,
anywho,
why do I keep gaining weight when I eat Thin Mints? That's false advertising. It's terrible.
I love Thin Mints too.
Yeah, they are good.
Honestly, I'd take any fucking flavor of Girl Scout cookie for the most part.
I wonder if The Rock, do you think his favorite kind is Samoans?
It's Samoans. Samoans are so good. God, dude, I wish I could eat some fucking Girl Scout cookies right now. But anyway, so this woman, she's saving up this money, nickel and diming it, but she got bread in this tin, dude.
She does, yeah.
When she first opened
especially for the time period.
Yeah, I was like, because it was like $2,500. I actually have the exact number.
Yeah, because it was
It was very specific.
Yeah,
it's $2,026.10.
Yeah,
and bro, it looked like 10 grand the way she had that cash in there. I was like,
oh my god, dude, good. Bill made me want to,
bro.
David Morse, does he ever play a good character?
Green Mile is the only thing.
Okay.
It's the only thing I can think of is Green Mile is the only time he plays. Because I'm like, David Morse is a heavy in a villain all the time.
Yes, yeah.
And he plays it too well. Because like in this film, he's perfectly coming off like, I'm the sweet neighbor who helps you and rents out the trailer, but I'm really fucking deceiving, thieving, greedy, selfish, crazy bastard.
But like because he's a cop for one thing.
Yeah, so there's that air of entitlement.
And because he's a cop at that time, he was probably a World War II vet.
He might have been.
And because of her last name,
I think they said he was in the trial. I feel like they said they might have said like police officer, war veteran. I feel like they did. Don't quote me, guys, but I feel like they did. But go ahead.
And because of her last name is like Russian, even though she's from the Czech Republic. So at that time, then you have like the Cold War going on. So even her last name is going to sway the jury just because of that tension.
Of course. I mean,
there's a lot of intentional things I think in this film.
Like you said, that it's Selma Jeskova.
Yeah, Jeskova.
That's Russian sounding AF. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it is, because the way it ends means she's female. Like I took some Russian classes.
Okay.
Because taking English classes, you take like different literatures and stuff too. Of course,
you're a Russian man now.
And they I remember learning something like that. I forget like the male, but there's a difference. So if she had a brother, his last name, the ending would be slightly different.
Would it be like a O? It's kind of like how there's masculine and feminine, like Spanish and stuff.
Yeah, probably something to that effect. Yeah. Once again, don't quote me either, but I know there is
definitely don't quote me. I don't know nothing about the Russian language, but I'm sure you're right. I can't back this up, guys. Sorry, we don't have time to verify it.
Yeah.
So we knew after the main conflict, they wanted her to be. They wanted a reason. They're like, it's nailed. She just destroyed an American hero. We're gonna nail this foreign bee to the wall.
Here's the crazy part, though, because so he confessed to her that he was actually broke after whatever inheritance everyone thought he had.
I wish I knew how. I wish they said how much it was.
Yeah, because he was like, my wife just spends money all the time.
He make it seem like he got like 100K or something,
and she's like, I'm blind.
Right.
So they
My
both
problems
have this,
are way worse than yours, though.
Yeah, so they both have this secret. So then he steals her money, and then she confronts him, but he's already lied to his wife about her to kind of cover his own ass.
Mm-hmm.
And then she gets the money back. There's a struggle with his gun. She shoots him. He yells at his wife to leave so he can beg her to kill him.
Yep.
Because that's the only way you're going to get this money. How?
And then she bludgeons him with a suitcase.
Yeah, after she tries to shoot him.
She can't fucking see him.
I know. Some of my favorite parts are like when she's shooting next to him.
Yeah, she's like I'm like laughing, yet I'm so like, oh my God. At the same time, I'm like, this shouldn't be funny. Yes, I'm like ready to cry, but I'm like, bro, you can't fucking see him.
Yeah, why are you asking her to shoot
funny,
you?
Bro. I'm like, I shouldn't be laughing.
Because she's putting him through more torture.
Yes, bro. I'm like, you're getting shot in the weirdest places. He's getting shot everywhere, but critical. Like, you're going to live through all of this.
Yeah, somehow she misses every major organ.
Yes. It's like there's this South Park episode where this dude, like, the poor people, homeless people essentially become zombies, and like the world gets overran with homeless people, and they kind of beg for change. And it's like, as soon as you give them change, they forget you gave them change and they keep asking for it. But so they take over this dude's house, and he's like, I'm not going out like this. So he tries to shoot himself, and he just misses, like he just slightly misses everywhere and ends up shooting himself like 8 times. It is so funny. Wow. But anywho.
I'm sorry. I did have a point to that. I'm sorry. So what happens when his wife finds out that like they really didn't have any money? So
she must have knew, because she lies at the trial. The wife.
Oh, she does.
She lies. Yes. She lies bad too. Yeah. And I'm like, you fucking B-word.
Yeah.
I'm like, she lied bad. So I'm sure she figured it out. I was like, well, I'm gonna cover my ass, because if they find out, I could be, probably go down for this shit too, you know what I mean? Because I knew he had it, you know what I mean?
Yeah, because if his reputation is tarnished, then hers would be too.
Yeah, it's like, it was like Derek Chauvin's wife. She had whether she loved that man, she's like, honey, I don't care if you're the most racist man on earth, I still love you. Like, she'd be like, listen, I can't be associated with you though, because now my life is screwed. Everybody hey, you're the wife of that dude who put his knee on that dude's neck for 9.5 minutes. Hey, how you doing?
Yeah.
That's not how you really want to be introduced. So I get it, so she had to cover her own ass. But fuck her. Because I'm like, yo, this girl as a kid, this girl's been your friend. She hasn't done anything to you.
Yeah.
She pays y'all rent. I'm like, y'all getting money from this girl living in the trailer on your property. It's costing you nothing to have that trailer there.
Yeah.
So that's all profit.
Yeah.
Where is your money going? You're a cop too.
Yeah.
Now, not that cops were making stupid bank back then because they weren't.
No, but he still has a job.
You have a job. First of all, you live in a very, very cheap area. You telling me it's expensive to live there, I don't believe you.
Yeah.
You live in a cheap area.
Yes.
You have a job and you're getting rent from a tenant. Bro.
Yeah.
Where is your money? What is she spending? Is she a fucking drug addict?
Yeah.
So I'm like, bro, she buying them pills and wine during the day? Because I'm like, she's got the housewife starter pack.
Yeah.
A broom, pills, and wine. So it's like that's the housewife starter pack. So like, what are you spending your money on? She wants new couches. You have couches, right?
Yeah,
they can fucking wait.
Yeah, because they don't have any kids.
Yeah, so I'm saying you ain't got no kids, so that's why y'all want to hang out with her son all the time.
Yeah,
and you buying him a bike. Why are you buying him a bike? You ain't got no damn money. Like, guys, she ain't asked you to do that. She was mad. I'm not that kind of mother. You know what I mean? Like,
because she knows what's important for his future rather than.
She's like, I would rather you gave him a car with some cash in it that I could have added to my tin.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Because this motherfucker need eyes. Like, we'll get in the best quotes because there's a lot of them. So this man steals, like he said, this man steals money. This woman, they have a crazy struggle. She kills him, and then she essentially. Is like
he asked her to kill him though.
He did,
but
it has to be
she
said.
Didn't want to.
She didn't want to.
No.
She tried to cover his fucking ass all the time.
Yeah, she just wanted her money for her son.
Yep, she was like, I just need my bread bill. I'm gonna go about my business.
Yeah,
and he's like, you gonna have to kill me. You want this bread? I was like, God. I was like, why is David Prowse always an ass, bro? Like, or not David Prowse, David Morse.
Look,
I'm
Darth
like,
Vader.
Darth Vader. Right?
Why is Darth Vader's body
right?
Always an
ass, right? But, excuse me, my bad. So
that's a different conversation.
It is a very different conversation. We'll do that on maybe we'll talk about that.
Yeah, we'll talk about his ass later.
Yeah, maybe this May the 4th we'll discuss that. But seriously, he's always a jerk, but he plays his role really well. And this is kind of the point of the movie where you really see Bjork shine as an actress.
Yeah, you're right.
Because like me and Jamie were talking about, at first you're questioning this woman's mental capacity for a little while.
You are.
But you realize she is a little off, but I think it's due to her being foreign and lack of education.
And also being focused on her goal.
Yeah.
And her whole life is based on repetition. Because, like we said, she probably was actually blind the whole time.
She definitely was. Like, you go to work, you know how to use a factory, you do that. She sells those little card things, whatever the hell those things are.
Yeah, because they're making like sinks or something in the factory.
They're definitely making like trays that go. You put water in it. You put water in it.
Some kind of basin, metallic basin.
It looked like those buffet trays. You sit on top of the hot water to keep the food warm.
It did look
That's
like
what they kind of look like. So yeah, she's making this shit, but this is dangerous, bro. This is heavy, bro. You can lose an arm, finger.
Yeah,
like she broke that machine. Like, that's one of my favorite scenes, the night shift scene, because that's when you see her the first musical number.
Yeah.
Which you don't get till about 30 plus minutes into the movie, because this is a musical.
It is.
Like, she does. She loves musicals.
Yeah,
and I like the way von Trier made this musical because it's not filled with music and dance numbers. There's only like 4. But they're very important to the plot. They push you into the next chapter, and they're done really well on Bjork's end because I do love the way she performs the songs, and I like the way she dances. The background dancers are questionable, but they're supposed to be because they're the freaking people that are just around.
Yeah. Like in that scene, it's the other factory workers.
I was like, do you expect factory workers to be breaking it down like Michael Jackson? No. Yeah. So, right? You know, on the tiptoes.
Smashing cars.
Yeah. So it's like the guys on the train when they're doing, like, these guys aren't going to be, they shouldn't be great dancers. I'm like, why is the train conductor?
And that's what made it more authentic. And you're kind of wondering, like, is it in her head or is it not? But then when it snaps back to like right before she started thinking of it, I'm like, oh, okay, it's
definitely
the couple seconds in her mind.
Because she's like, I daydream too much. You know, that was her thing. She's like, I was just daydreaming. And Kathy's like, bitch, you better wake up. And I'm like,
it's night shift. There's no daydreaming on night shift.
Daydreaming. Yo, Catherine Deneuve was so good in this movie. She
Yeah.
was incredible as Kathy, and she was 57 in there. She
Really?
looked great.
Wow.
She looked great because she's in a lot of good French movies that I like. Umbrellas of
Is that the one you were
Cherbourg.
telling me about a couple weeks ago? The
Yeah,
actress
yes.
like the French Jane Fonda.
Yes.
Yes.
Sort of.
Yeah.
Not as hot, but
Yeah.
you know, she had that kind of reputation. Like
Yeah.
Belle de Jour and Umbrellas of Cherbourg and The Street Charm of the Bourgeois, like all these great French films she was in when she was younger. I'm like, I actually think she looks better as an older woman with a little weight on her. You know, she had that sexy grandma thing going on. You know what I mean? Like, if I was an old guy and my wife looked like that at 57, I'd be chilling. You know what I'm saying? I'd be like, oh, I'm good.
Look, she was devastating. Like at the very end.
Oh my god, bro!
Yeah.
She brings like we'll get into that.
Yeah.
We won't. We'll talk about the end and rewatchable scenes because obviously the end is the most rewatchable scene, at least in my opinion. Jamie can tell you.
No, I think you're right. That whole last
from the 107 steps, all the way to
even before that, because it shows the relationship that she has with the guard.
With Brenda.
Yeah.
Who's a Lars von Trier regular. She's in a ton of his films.
Yeah. What's her name? Siobhan Fallon?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
She's in Dogville. She's in House of Jack Built. She's in a bunch of his films. So,
but yeah, I kind of like that because they, even though they're obviously opposing forces, there's relatability there, and there's kind of like a trust.
Yeah,
in a weird way.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And I mean, they're both foreigners.
God,
the 107 steps is it's devastating. Yeah. So like now so after she kills him, she's pretty much on the run with her new friend Jeff, who has a huge crush on Selma and would do anything for her. But she been playing this man, and finally she kind of needs him.
Well, I don't know. Was she playing him, or was she just like?
She was focused. I can't date you.
Yeah,
like she said, I don't have time. She did say, I don't have time for a boyfriend.
Yeah,
she did. Yeah. She was like, I fucked with you, but she did say, I ain't got no time for a boyfriend.
Yeah.
Which I get that. She's like, I really don't. My eyes could just be gone, done.
Yeah.
I can't even do shit. You know, so I get that. But I don't know, man. She could have let him drive her home. Like he could have threw the bike in the back, and then Bill pulls up and she cop a ride with Bill. And you know Jeff was feeling some type of way. He was like, all right, bitch. Yeah. I see you. He's like, you know, I've been fucking sitting out here for fucking probably 2 years trying to get a ride from you.
Oh.
You won't. Oh,
ain't
I won't. You know, look, man, you know his ultimate goal is, you know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
Like, he's still a guy, whether I mean, he's definitely on the spectrum too, but I mean, he still know what it is. So
he fought the Battle of Bjorktown.
He did. He did. He fought the hard battle. Unfortunately, he lost because he definitely didn't get to hit. But wow. I feel like Selma had sex probably one time when she got pregnant with her son.
Yeah, and that would have been the only time.
That was the only time she needed.
Yeah.
So the film, she goes on trial for killing this cop.
Yeah. The cops eventually
catch her, and it's kind of her own fault.
Yeah,
because they shouldn't have went to rehearsal.
No, she should have known everyone was going to be.
Dude, as soon as she walked in and that lady left with the kids, I'd be like, I think we gotta get out of here.
But see, she didn't see him leaving.
Oh, god damn it, you're right.
Yeah, yeah, she's blind. That's the thing.
Damn it.
So like, even the director's like, I'll be right back.
Right,
and he makes the phone call.
She's like, oh, he's still here, dude. I knew he was gonna call. And it's like,
but how do
you not call?
But how can anyone who knows her think she's
capable? I wouldn't think she is. I'd be like, but it's like, I personally wouldn't snitch because that's just me. Yeah. And that's how I was brought up. But I do understand the director's position because I know he loves Selma, especially by the way he treated her.
Oh, yeah.
But he's like, dude, they're coming to me telling me you murdered a cop and I got a studio to look after. Yeah. I'm trying to do things. If they find out she came and I didn't call, I'm going to jail.
He'd be a commie lover or whatever. Yeah,
you know what I mean? Yeah, you're a commie. Yeah, your whole reputation, and you could possibly face some jail time. So it's like, I understand why he did it. You know, it was probably painful for him because he did care about Selma.
He did.
Like he was sad when she dropped out the play.
Yeah, especially
he was like, he's like, dude, this was for you. Like, I wanted this
You're
for you.
still my Maria.
Yeah, and
he's
like,
perfect Maria.
He's like, even though this much more attractive and probably much more talented woman is right here, I'm still going to give you the lead. Maria. Because I'm like, this other chick is way better looking and probably way better at the part.
Yeah.
Like, She can't see 6 steps. She didn't even know how many damn steps to take. And I'm like, bro, how is this woman supposed to perform?
And she started to freak out when he's like, let's try it without glasses. And it's weird because if she couldn't see, it wouldn't matter if she had the glasses on or not.
I'm sure the glasses give her enough sight to see the blurs. You know, you got to at least be able to see
she might be
blurs.
legally blind.
Yeah. I'm like, got to see the blurs at least. So she goes on trial. Mistakes are made heavily.
Yes.
And we'll get into those in rewatchable scenes. But
man,
she gets sentenced to death. To be hung by the neck until she's dead.
And your buddy Joel Grey from Cabaret is in it.
Yeah.
You're a big Cabaret fan now.
I love Cabaret. So good. I'm telling you, man. If I could sing and dance, I would play a role like that. But unfortunately, I can't. So,
oh my.
Yeah,
you mean the Liza Minnelli role you'd play? Naturally.
I mean, I might have to slim down. They'd be like, this dude's a little bit too thick to be convinced that this is any form of a lady. They'd be like, this guy.
I don't know nowadays.
I know, right?
Yeah,
like, you got these female athletes, these trans athletes.
Yeah.
6'3", 240, all muscle.
Yeah.
With long hair and painted nails and stuff.
And see, those athletes used to just be like Russian. Yeah. That's the problem. Way back when. Because they would like roid up their Russian female.
Yeah, they did.
They'd be like named Bertha or something.
Yeah, and they're like, God damn, you're like, she about to kick my ass.
Yeah.
And it's like, what kind of shit is this?
But you'd still look up to them because they were taller than you.
Yes, they were. 6'2", 6'3". 240, all muscle, and you're like, Jesus, man, looking like China from. You remember China, the wrestler?
I do remember China.
Bro, China was scary.
Yeah, she was.
And my uncle always thought she was so attractive. I was like, bro, she beat your ass. I was like,
he was probably like, I saw her at a urinal once.
Yeah. He was like, I was intrigued. He's like, I didn't see a dick, but it came out in the stream. But all right, guys, we're not making fun of nobody. By the way,
actually, we're just making fun of Cabaret.
Yeah, and rest in peace, China, for sure.
Actually, yeah, because she
died from steroids.
I think too many wrestlers pass from that kind of stuff.
Yeah, dude,
it's either mental illness or
large, bro. Yeah, like so you're speeding the life expectancy of your heart rate up by like 3. So
that's
they all die in like their 50s. Crazy. So Selma goes to jail. It's very, very emotional. And she is fucking hung and murdered.
Yes.
But her son gets the operation.
He does.
And it's a good thing. But we'll get into that.
Yeah.
Because we'll start getting into the categories. Because that's the story's simple.
Yeah, because it's like, you find out who she is. This conflict happens. Mm-hmm. And then she ends up dying for what she believed in.
For what she believed in.
But she didn't have to. She chose to.
She kind of did have to, though, bro.
No, she chose to. Because that lawyer comes.
Yeah. And, well, but I mean, it's like if you want your son to see.
That's what I mean. She could have chosen
her
own life
but it's like, but she knew, and that's why I respected her so much. Because I'm like, she knew. She said, "Why the fuck would we spend that money on a blind old woman who's gonna rot in jail when my son needs eyes?" And I'm like, bro, that's facts.
So the lesson of the movie is never do anything for your kids ever. Because it'll just screw you over. It might kill you. Yeah.
Literally, they say your kids will be the death of you.
Or it's that, as a parent, you'll honestly do anything for your kids, including give up your own life.
Including give up your own life, your eyesight, and everything.
Yeah, so, I mean, you can look at it either way.
There's a lot of ways to look at it. So, let's jump into the categories. We don't want to keep you too long. MVP of the film.
Bjork. Has to be. Because, look, the music and the acting.
And I love her voice. It's so distinct. Yeah. It's just,
and she looks like an elf.
She does. She looks, bro, she looks like an Asian elf.
She does.
With the slanty eyes and the little ears and her little head and her black little hair. Yeah. She looks like a little elf. And she's got this quirky cuteness to her in the weirdest way. She's not like sexy by any means, but there's a cuteness to her that's adorable, almost like a little cute animal.
Yeah,
in a weird way. And not calling her an animal, but like
no, you want to almost treat her like a special needs kid.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of because that's how she comes off.
Yes,
because she's not. She's smart. She's smart morally, but she is not smart. Like she doesn't make the best decisions.
Yeah. In the film.
In the film,
Yeah,
yes.
We're talking about
Selma. Yes,
yeah, Selma,
not
the
Bjork.
character.
Obviously, Bjork worked like 60-something million. She's made great decisions.
Yeah.
She knows how to make some decisions.
Yeah. This is the character of Selma.
Yeah, she is chilling. Bjork is probably sitting up right now with her feet up, doing absolutely nothing, not worrying about a damn thing.
Yeah.
I had Bjork and Lars.
Oh yeah, because he wrote it. And directed
he wrote and directed it, and
yeah.
He brings these performances out of these actors that I literally, there's so many actors I watch in his movies. I'm like, this is their best performance.
Well, there's a lot of good people. Even Stellan Skarsgård.
Yep, Stellan's got a quick cameo, and I love him. He's a Lars regular too.
Yeah, Joel Grey.
Joel Grey is incredible.
The dude that plays Jeff, I've seen in a lot of
he's
things.
in a ton of shit, bro.
Yeah.
He's a good actor too, and he's really good in this movie. Yeah. I thought this was honestly his best performance. And
he's good as, I think he's like Thor in American Gods, if I'm not mistaken. Or
probably
some kind of god that uses a hammer.
He's in Bad Boys 2 playing a fun character. He plays a lot of like smaller supporting characters, but like he's
really
actor.
good at it. Though.
He is very good. He's like a Harry Dean Stanton type of dude.
Oh yeah.
You need a hard supporting actor you know is going to give it to you. You know he's good. Like,
some people are just great at helping other actors shine.
They really are, bro.
Like think of when Phil Hartman was on SNL. He was the glue that helped everyone else excel.
Phil Hartman,
incredible.
God, what a shitty death.
Yeah.
Like that dude would probably still be making us laugh.
And look, we'd still have half the voices on The Simpsons,
right? Like the fuck,
Lionel Hutz, Troy McClure.
That's insane, bro.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so sad. But yeah, I had to give it up to Lars. He
you're right.
Killed it. Like
actually, it's that combo.
It's the combo.
If it wasn't those two together, it wouldn't be the same.
We might as well just talk about them two real quick. They could not fucking stand each other.
I can't believe that.
These two fought like cats and dogs on steroids. Bjork almost quit. Really? It got to a point where they wouldn't even speak to each other unless the camera was rolling. It got to a point where she was saying Lars was like the crew was being a little too physical with her, if you know what I mean. Y'all use your imagination.
Oh, that's tough.
It got to the point she said she was screamed at to the point where she felt like she was a little child. And I mean, he didn't say he didn't do this shit.
Yeah.
He was like, listen, I didn't assault this woman. But he's like, was I hard on her? Fuck yeah, I was.
Yeah.
I rode her ass to the ground. He said I did.
Yeah.
But look what she did. She won Best Actress.
And look, just that last scene, I could see why.
Dude, I'm like, that last scene is...
And the weird thing is, up until then, I was questioning everything about anything this film would have won. And then I saw that last scene. I'm like, oh, that's why.
That's why. It glues everything together.
Yeah.
And because like when I was first watching it, I was feeling it. I was feeling Selma's character a lot and the emotions for her. But when it ended, that shit ripped me apart. And I was like, okay, it put everything in perspective. It literally, Lars does kind of spoon feed you his messages because he does spoon feed it to you. But he puts a nice ass bow on it all.
Yeah.
And even though it ends tragically.
Oh, he had that quote at the end.
Yes. And it was perfect. I'm like, he puts bows on. Honestly, all his movies have nice, neat little bows on them. But that's his style and it works for him. He's not he don't leave a lot for interpretation. He does kind of tell you what's up. So I know a lot of people hate that. A lot of people love it. I think for him it works. Like his kind of counterpart, Thomas Vinterberg, another great Danish director, he's won Oscars and shit. Like his film, Another Round, that won Best International Feature in 2020. So like he's looked at as a little bit more safer because Lars likes to push the envelope, but he leaves a lot, to question in his films. And I think that works for his films. If he tried to make a movie like Lars, it would be a piece of shit. And if Lars tried to make a movie like him, it would be a piece of shit. So those styles work for certain people, and I think this works for Lars. But they couldn't stand each other, and
I can't believe it.
It was really
so. It's
really,
like Burt
really
Reynolds'
good.
PTA, right?
I think it was way worse than that, bro.
Wow.
Like it was like it got to the point where all the contact had to be between her people, his people, because they couldn't just talk to each other. They couldn't just sit down and have a coneven
That amazes me because watching the film, it's like
you would think these two just knew what to do.
Yeah.
Like, and she didn't even want to do this film. She was like, I'll do the music and all that. I don't want to be in it. And he was like, dude, there's just no one who's going to be able to do it.
Yeah, like
you
have to. Who's going to be able to sing like you?
Yes. He's like, you have to do it. And she was like, fine, fuck you, I'll do it. And she's like, I wish I wouldn't have did it.
Wow.
In hindsight, she probably is glad she did it because
this might be her legacy.
This is her Apex Mountain.
Outside of Iceland, I should say.
This is for sure.
Because obviously she was a legend in Iceland before this.
Yeah, but this definitely showed like, okay, this woman's just on a whole different level.
Yes, yeah.
So peak season,
Bjork.
This without a doubt, without question.
Has she acted in anything else?
I think she's in 3 other films that are spread out over like 30 years.
Wow.
And they're not parts like this. They're all small parts.
This is like more intense and more.
Yeah, bro, I think the next film, I don't think she did a film after this till like 2012 or something.
Wow.
So it's like, that's 12 years.
Well, she does have kids, so I'm assuming she did like, method acting where she probably put herself in place like, what if
this was me and my son?
Yeah.
And that's what she pretty much said. She was like, I was Selma. She said, she says, first day I got on the set. She said, first day I got on that set, I was not Bjork anymore. I was Selma until we were done. And she's like, and honestly, I couldn't shake Selma for a little while after that.
Wow.
And she was like, the combination of the way Lars directed me and what it took to pull off the role, it consumed me, bro.
Wow.
Like, it consumed me. And I'm like,
I can
look
see
what
it.
you got. Look what you got.
Yeah.
So she killed this shit. I was so proud of her. I was like, go ahead, Bjork. I know you had in you, baby girl. All right. Best quotes. I got a lot.
Okay.
And I have yours in mind. So we'll discuss it in depth when I get to it.
Yeah.
So I'm not that kind of mother. And that's from the scene when they bike. Yeah, when her neighbors and landlords buy her son a bike, she's really upset about it because she wouldn't do it because she's like, there's more important things than a bike right now.
And also, like, wouldn't that make her son have higher expectations for her?
Yeah.
And be like, well, why aren't you doing this?
Why aren't you buying me a bike? Exactly.
Yeah.
And that's why I think she was upset.
She doesn't want to tell him until
the time is right.
Yeah, because if he's worried about it, it makes it worse and he might not be able to get the surgery.
Yep. And she's like, I got to just act like I'm broke and act like, you know what I mean? So I'm like, she did do a good job of disguising it from him. He didn't have no idea. He's like, I just wear these thick ass joints like my mom. Coke bottles and all that.
Yeah.
So, all right. You were just so big and happy. I'm not that big. It's the part when Selma's talking to Kathy and she pretty much calls her fat.
Oh,
and it was just a funny quote. I just laughed when she said it. It really isn't significant as far as the movie. But it just shows the relationship those two have because Kathy is so important.
She's like a mother.
She's a mom. She is her mom. Like, she is essentially her mom, or maybe even an older sister.
Yeah, she's trying to help take care of her and make sure she's okay.
Oh, bro.
The whole time.
Pulls up to night shift after you already worked an 8-hour shift on day shift. Like, at the rehearsals, making sure, jumping out, fucking shit up just so she can learn the steps. So she can tell Selma how to do it. Like, that's the best friend you could have in the world.
Yeah.
Like, she was incredible, but it just shows their kind of relationship. And they were close because they were both foreigners. So they had that kind of bond, and they were both alone.
Yeah.
Outside of the son, they both were alone. And I was just shocked that Catherine Deneuve's character couldn't find a guy out there. Like Bjork, she's questionable, so I can see her possibly being single.
Yeah, because Selma's a little standoffish.
Selma's Selma.
Yes.
You gotta watch the film to get Selma. Because I don't want to say things. I don't want to offend anybody because I'd have to use a language that doesn't sound good in 2024 to really discuss how Selma is.
Yeah, and the film takes place, though, like we said, late 50s, early 60s. So those terms would be appropriate for that time because there was no other way, because science, we were still putting people in asylums.
I'm like, we're still ignorant. I'm like, our ignorance. And but the term for me to make you understand it would be considered ignorant terms today. So I just don't want to go there, but you just watch the film if you haven't seen it.
Yeah.
All right, another one. Would you feel better if I told you a secret? I'm going blind. When she tells Bill, when she tells Bill, and then he, they have that whole little confession.
He must have known about her money or something, and that's probably why. Because he seemed to manipulate that whole situation. He had
to. Yes, it's like he fucking manifested that shit.
Yeah,
He had to have known. I'm like, bro, Bill, you knew somehow. he must have saw her walk into a wall or some shit one day, bro.
Yeah. Oh shit.
Oh. He's like, I think this bitch going blind.
Yeah.
He's like, she's like, she gets paid every day. What she do with that money? She ain't got shit.
Yeah.
She gotta have some bread.
Yeah.
So he must.
That's probably what tipped him off first.
And then when she told him, he's like, oh yeah. He was like, I had a hunch, and now I know.
Yeah.
So man, he's such a piece of crap.
Yeah, and the way he found out, I just wanted to punch him in the dick.
Right, bro.
That's all.
We'll get there in rewatchable scenes.
Yeah.
I could always shoot myself when he's in the car and he first asks Selma to hold the bread when he picks her up from work. And she's like, bro, pretty much no. He's like, I could always kill myself. It's like, bro, you're that much in the how you recently get an inheritance?
Yeah.
And now you this much in the hole where you ready to off yourself for this, bro?
Yeah, and maybe you know what? Now that
tell your wife to stop blowing bread, bro.
But now that you mention it, I wonder if he manufactured the whole situation
Might be a
with
manipulation
the money.
tactic.
But if he did it with the money to put her in the position to kill him, then he didn't have to tell his wife that they were out of money.
Jeez, you think
he
really could go that deep?
Because if he said he would kill himself, he obviously thought about it.
He really did want to die, huh?
He did, rather than be honest with his wife.
Yep, and which is insane.
That is insane, because honesty is always the best way to go. That's
definitely gotta be. He has to have darker demons than just that, bro. Because I'm like, unless your wife is really just a gold digger, bro, any woman would be like, okay, babe, like, we can stop spending. Like,
yeah, we
don't have to do this.
We can figure this out.
Yeah, you're making it seem like we got this money. He's probably making it seem like the money is endless.
Yeah.
When he should be like, hey, babe, all right, we're doing this and that's it because, you know, we only got this much left and we need to make this, you know what I mean? Like, it don't sound like he was being upfront with her about the money. And I'm like, bro, just tell her you ain't got no money like that. If it's my girl, I'm like, listen, I'm broke right now. I can't, we can't do it.
Honesty is tough for a lot of people, especially
if you're used to being the man.
Yeah, yeah. And that time period, he's the breadwinner.
He's definitely the breadwinner.
So, like, his wife isn't working because she shouldn't have to at that point, And
he's got the reputation of a police officer.
Yeah, so it's like it's almost like society forced him to put Selma in a shitty situation.
He kind of did in a weird way.
Yeah.
And I know his wife was looking at him like he could do no wrong.
Yes.
Because as soon as I
think a lot of people did.
Yeah, because she believed everything he said without question. And then you looking at Selma all crazy, knowing Selma's ass ain't never. Selma can't even see the dude. She probably don't even know how attractive he is.
Yeah.
She's like, I see a handsome-ish figure.
As far as she knows, he looks like Sloth from Goonies.
Right? Yeah. She's like, bro, this dude.
She gave him like a Baby Ruth.
Right? Yo, he's like, oh, yo, chill. Stop. And everyone in this town has sloth-like all right, I'm done. Nope, we're done. Okay, so let's move on next one.
But hey, hold on real quick. Did you notice that, like, Sloth's mom in the Goonies, right? That woman?
The old chick?
Yeah, the old woman.
Yeah.
Trump's mugshot looks just like her.
She said, oh my God.
Yeah, the mama from Throw Mama from the Train.
That's hilarious, bro.
That's actually what his mugshot looks like. It's crazy. It's crazy.
She's scary, bro. She scared the shit out of me in that movie, bro. She's terrible. He said, this is water. She said, it's wet, ain't it? I'm like, that shit was brown, bro.
But you know, that actually reminds me of in Dancer in the Dark when she's singing that song with Jeff and he's like, you've never been to Niagara Falls? She's like, I've seen water.
I've seen water. Yeah.
Like, wow.
Right? He's like, yo, that's
some of the best quotes are in the songs.
In the songs. Yo, yeah. I have so.
Okay.
All right, so you're good. So another one. It's Kathy. She's talking about Selma's dancing next stupid. And she's like, you should dance more, Kathy. And she said, I'll dance when there's music.
Yeah, she does say that.
And I'm like, that just tells you how Kathy lives in the real world and Selma doesn't.
Yes.
Because Kathy's like, this isn't the time for that. Whereas Selma's thinking every time is playtime.
Yeah.
I'm at work, but I'm daydreaming about musicals. But I'm reading my script at work, operating heavy machinery, and you know she's got the damn shit. If you can see my face, you know she's holding the script 1 inch away from her fucking eyes.
She's looking like one of my favorite references. She's looking like Henry Hill at Helicopters.
Yep, for real. She's looking like, yo, like, look at the tomato sauce all crazy. Like, listen, guys, there will forever be a reference to De Niro's glasses, Henry Hill's helicopter and tomato sauce, and Morbius. Those will always be referenced on this channel, all right? So get used to that.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, you're right. Was that right before she started? They were in the
steps.
factory, and
yeah,
she was
the night shift.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Because every time the musicals happen, it's when something terrible is happening in her life.
In her life,
it's how she deals
blocks
with it.
it
I
off.
think mentally.
Yep. That's exactly what it is. Every time something bad happens, that's when the music comes in. Because there's like 4 major bad events, and you kind of get like 4 songs.
Yeah.
So then the next one I had 6 steps, and that's when Kathy jumps out and figures out the steps and gets screamed at by the director.
Oh yeah,
so she can help. So she can help out Selma because she's just that good of a friend.
Yeah,
and I'm like, honestly, it's crazy enough because Catherine Deneuve is in so many good films. This is my favorite performance from her, and it's probably not even the best movie she's in. But this is definitely I don't know.
You can see her compassion.
Yes, I'm like, she played this motherly role so well, and I'm so used to seeing her as like the young heroine, and now I'm seeing her in like this strong supporting maternal role, and I'm like, she is killing this portion of her career. So I thought that was really cool.
It's because of the style of the filmmaking, like the type of camera and stuff, because it looks like a documentary.
Yeah.
So everyone feels authentically real.
He does a lot of close shots, face shots, and
they don't feel like actors.
Up. Yes. And stuff. Yes. Feels like you're watching homies or just people you've seen around.
Yeah.
Another one. You didn't tell her I was lying. Mum's the word, right? And that's when she goes to confront Bill about stealing her money, and his wife's like, he told me you was trying to fuck him and all this, that, and the third, and she just doesn't say anything. And he asked her, like, you told her I was lying? And she's like, no, essentially. And I'm like, why are you fucking protecting this guy?
Like, because she's honest. At the end of the day, she is a very honest,
but what would be honest would be to tell the fucking truth to his wife.
In a way, she's like our girl Barbarella.
She is, right?
That innocence is what, destroyed that society, and in
her
a
own
way,
innocence destroyed herself.
Destroyed her.
Yeah. You're right, man. I think you hit that on the head there. Because my thing was, because I had an unanswerable question, which now I feel like you just answered. But I'll still discuss it when we get there.
Okay.
All right. It was $2,026.10.
Yeah.
And that's how much money, he stole from her. She knew it to the exact dollar and penny.
And that's how much money the lawyer got too, right?
Yes, it is. And
so
she knew.
that number matters.
It matters. It comes up a lot.
Yeah.
It comes up more than 4 times. So you just did what you had to do from the music number after she kills Bill.
Oh, yeah.
And it's like, I'm like, bitch, you did just do what you had to do.
Yeah,
I'm with you in this song because that dude is an asshole.
Yeah.
And he wasn't going to let you go with that money. It was either kill him or he gets your money.
And in the song, she kind of gets her forgiveness from him.
Yeah.
And even the wife. In the song.
In the
song. Even though it's all in her head.
It's all in her head, yeah.
She still has like that catharsis of like, okay, I did do what I had to do.
It's justified.
Yeah.
Which it is in our eyes. We're like, it is justified.
But it's her money, so why did she even have to do it?
She shouldn't have to do it. Exactly. Yeah. It's like, and you're a fucking cop, and you just broke the law.
Yes.
That was two bands back then. That's a felony amount of money you just stole.
Yeah.
So I'm like, you would go to jail for a little bit. I mean, well, he's a cop. He gets some paid suspension, but you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So he get a little vacation, but that's about it. But still, you're supposed to be upholding the law, and you're out here breaking it on an innocent woman that is innocent, and she needs this for something important. You're the worst kind of person ever.
Yeah.
Like, you're the worst. You're kind of the devil in living form.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck are you? Who are you? And you've manipulated the whole community into thinking you're this pillar when you're a piece of shit. And I'm like, Bill is absolutely just scum. I'm like, I don't care. I don't feel bad for you at all because your wife overspends. We're not talking about you got your own kid who's sick and you're going broke because they need treatments or something like that.
Yeah.
Then I could see you're desperate, you being desperate about it. But I'm like, she needs some couches? Get the fuck out of my face, bro.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Get out of my face, cuz. Yeah, bro, you're a POS.
She says something later on that references her song with Jeff, like on the train or by the train, when Jeff is talking about like, well, what about seeing your house and like seeing your grandkid touch your hair and
Mm-hmm.
stuff. And later on, she's like, Jeff needs to be able to see his grandkid. Or
Yep.
not Jeff, I mean Gene.
No, Gene, yeah.
Yeah, Gene, her son. He needs to be able to see his grandkids. Like,
yep.
Yeah, so you're right. Who gives a fuck about a
God,
couch?
that was a good quote, and I didn't even put that in here. That was a good one there,
Yeah.
right there. Yeah, who cares about a damn couch from this kid?
Yeah, because I think that's what she says to, is it Kathy? When they're on the phone at the prison.
jail, and she's like, he needs a mom. She's like, he needs his fucking eyes.
Yeah.
What good is a mom he can't see?
Yeah.
What good is a mom that can't see?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, and I don't get how everyone didn't see it that way.
Well, because they could see, so they don't.
Yeah,
see
so
it.
they don't see it from her point of view.
Yeah, they literally can't.
But I'm like, could you guys imagine being a fucking? Because like he was what 12, 11?
Yeah, he was almost the age to be able to
the
get
surgery.
It.
Yeah, so I'm like, this kid's young as hell.
She was like on his birthday.
Yeah,
take him here and call him Covey.
Yeah. Because of the, I don't know why she did that, but whatever.
Well, that was her favorite. Dancer.
Her favorite dancer. Yeah, and obviously
in
we
musicals.
see him. Yeah, we see him later.
Yeah.
So it was just that was nuts. And then another good quote that I didn't even write down though. I just wanted to hold a baby. And she said that's why she had the kid.
Oh,
I just wanted to hold a baby because she felt like I was probably never gonna hold one ever in my life.
Yeah, because
unless I had my own.
Yeah, because if she knew like her because of her dad or whoever that she got the degenerative eye disease from, if she knew the impending doom of it, she probably did think like this would never
happen.
Yeah,
she's like, I'm not gonna ever get to hold a baby. He's gonna let a blind lady hold their baby.
Yeah.
So, and I thought that was really powerful.
And then the really crazy part is when Godzilla comes into the town and just decimates everything.
Yeah. Right. He just kills everyone in it and eats all the people who turned against Selma.
It was amazing.
Man. Guys, make sure you check out our -1 episode.
Oh, yes.
Because I gotta say, man, I'm still fiending for a sequel, even though, like I said, I didn't fall in love with -1. I'm still fiending for that sequel, more Godzilla.
Yeah,
he was badass. But anyways, this is not about guys. We'll talk about.
Sorry, I just realized we're talking about like a mother and a child and stuff, and I was having a flashback.
Yeah, I'm having a flashback.
What if, I was gonna say, what if the son wasn't hers? But if it wasn't hers, he wouldn't have the eye thing.
He wouldn't have the eye thing.
Yeah,
but
that's true. Never mind. I'm sorry.
But what if she just knew it was coming still and was like, you know what, I don't care. I'm going to still grind for this kid. But anyway, that's the theme lately. Taking care of kids you have nothing to do with.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
It's always
because Kathy ends up doing everything.
She pretty much adopts the kid.
Yeah, she has to.
And I'm sure she didn't mind. She was alone. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And it'll remind her of her friends. So it's like honoring Selma.
It's the piece you left.
Yeah.
And then another one, I didn't mind it at all that you were having a ball. Another line from the music. And, it just shows how...
Which song was that?
It was the song on the train tracks.
Oh, okay.
And it just shows how she's always looking for the best out of every situation.
Yeah.
And she's always having fun in her head, at least.
Yes.
And like we said, the way she deals with reality is quite interesting. And I think a lot of us have escapisms throughout our days like that. We think about something that makes us happy when we're dealing with bullshit. Yeah. Hers was to an extreme level because it was dangerous to her own physical well-being. But she was having a ball. Yeah, she really did have a good time up until she went to jail. Yeah. She was having fun, blind or not.
And even towards the end there, a little bit of that was coming back.
It was, yeah.
When she was,
when she was hanging out with Brenda, the security guard.
The worst part of her life, she was still able to retain some of that childlike innocence.
Mm-hmm. And you're right. And I didn't even look at it like how you said with Barbarella. She really is innocent in all of this.
Yeah, she is.
Because she doesn't know any better.
Because she didn't really understand, I think. I think in a naive way, she thought the truth will set you free.
Yeah.
And so, but at the same time...
She didn't tell the truth.
No, but at the same time, it's almost like if she tells the truth, then her son would know, and she doesn't want to stress him the fuck out. Yeah. So the operation is a success.
That's got to be the whole reason she was like, she wanted to pretend, she didn't want anyone to know about this damn surgery. Yeah. And I'm like, woman.
She wanted him to be able to have a life free of all the bullshit she had to go through.
And I'm like, woman, fucking tell them. They might not sentence you to death then at least.
Yeah.
Crazy. All right. In such time, you will be executed by being hanged by the neck until you're dead.
Oh my God!
That's when they sentenced her. Yeah. Yep. And it's like, when you hear that, you're like, God damn, they gonna hang this woman?
Yeah.
Like, she can't just get 25 to life? And it's like, well, I guess not.
I
Not
think
back in 1959 or whatever.
And depending on where they were, I mean,
They was somewhere isolated.
yeah,
bro. They was out
and that's
there.
how they would still do it, because they wouldn't do lethal injection at that point.
No.
And an electric chair, who knows?
When did that come out?
The electric chair is
20s?
actually the late 1800s.
Oh, wow.
The first one.
Okay.
But like, depending on the town, you might fuck up the whole
town.
Yeah,
they
yeah,
probably
like-
can't even afford that.
like when Texas had like snow a couple years ago.
Yeah,
and
and
the power grid
everybody's
fucked up.
just fucked, man.
Yeah, might do something like that if too much power is needed. Plus, they have a thing where if you don't actually die from the electric chair, I think you get to go free.
Oh, wow.
Because there are a few instances
But I'd
where,
rather you kill me because I'm probably going to be half of a vegetable.
Yeah, you're
like,
I'm
really
really
walking
fucked
around
up.
like with drool coming out of my mouth.
Yeah.
What? Kill me then. Just kill me then.
Yeah.
I want to live like that. Oh, be in jail or be a veggie. I'd probably rather be in jail.
But God, the way that it goes down, though, man,
Phew,
it's
we'll
terrible.
get there.
Yeah.
All right. One you said, in a musical, nothing dreadful ever happens.
Yeah, and
that kind of sums up the whole film.
it does
Like-
actually, yeah, because the whole movie is dreadful.
It's dreadful. And he lied.
Yeah,
Because
and
your
it's-
musical, a lot of dreadful shit happened.
but like the musical is only in her head, so to everyone else, it's not a
It's
musical.
not a musical.
Yeah.
And you're right. Oh, man, that was
Yeah.
good. But
So
see, Lars was on his shit when he wrote this, bro. He
yeah,
was
so
on his
like
stuff.
in her mind, like, okay, this isn't going to happen because this is a musical number now. But then it happens because the reality is, like we were saying, that's not a
Life
musical.
is not a musical, man.
No.
And that's what Kathy always understood and Selma didn't.
Yeah,
And
I think
and
Jeff understood it too. in a
yeah,
way.
Jeff definitely understood. But Kathy's like Kathy told her, like, you can't go and work all these hours and think you're gonna have energy to go to rehearsals and do all. You're doing
Yeah.
way too much. You need to focus. And she was right, because look, she gets fired.
And
You know what I mean?
I think she could see in the beginning, because now that we're talking about it, she took on all these extra things, and it was more of a strain on her eyes.
Yeah, I feel like she was overworking herself,
Yeah.
and then them eyes were just going.
Yeah,
It's
and
like-
that's why she wanted her son to like not know.
I love when she like rode her bike and almost got leveled by that fucking 16-wheeler,
Yeah.
18-wheeler. I was
Yeah.
like, oh my God. Oh, this woman really blind. She gonna kill her damn self. All right, another
Terrible.
one. It's a plain shame to spend that kind of money on a blind woman who's gonna spend her life in jail. Which is when she tells Kathy, you ain't spending that damn money on this damn lawyer.
Yeah,
So I told that motherfucker to go home and don't come back and put my son's money back in that damn hospital, because the doctor already cut her a break
yeah,
because she didn't have it all.
yeah, that
but
guy always plays like
he's-
vampires. And stuff.
Yep, and he's in so many Lars movies. He's another
Is he?
Lars. Yep, he's a Lars. He's always plays small roles like that.
Wow.
But he's a Lars regular. And like we said, Stellan's in here, another Lars regular. He plays a small role as her eye doctor.
Yeah.
And I think she fools him a little bit too,
Oh yeah, because she's
because
studying.
she studied the
She's
jaw.
like, oh, this is the.
Yeah, and he's like, "Oh, you're good. I'll tell the factory you're still good." This bitch couldn't see.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, that should have tipped me off right there.
Yeah, I was
man.
like, "Yo," she's like,
Yeah.
she definitely was fooling him.
Yeah.
Oh man, I got a couple more.
Okay.
There's 107 steps.
Oh.
I couldn't even do one. And dude, that's when it's time for her to make that walk.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that walk is 107 steps from her cell to the platform where she's going to be hanged. And that whole scene, we'll get there when we talk about the end, but yeah, we'll just go ahead and wait on that.
Okay.
Nobody told me about the hood. I can't breathe.
Oh my god.
Dude, that's when my first tear shed.
Yeah,
I was like,
yeah.
oh shit, man.
Yeah, because
I was
even
like,
Brenda, right?
yes.
She's like, she can't
"Take it
see.
off. She can't see. It doesn't matter. I'm like, oh my God.
Yeah.
The two of them, like the acting between the two of them there was
Yeah.
just
She's like, fuck
incredible.
protocol or whatever.
Yeah,
she
yeah.
said.
And she's like, and I'm like, God,
Yeah.
Brenda's so sweet. And I'm like, oh my God. I was like, these women are, Jesus, breaking me down here. That's, dude, because when they put it on her, it is fucked up, because it's like, oh my God, bro. It's like,
yeah.
this feels like you're about to like chop her head off or something.
Yeah,
Like, dude,
yeah,
it's just
yeah.
so, it seems so wrong. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you felt claustrophobic at that point.
Yes. And then last one, it's a visual one. They say it's the last. They say it's the last they don't know us.
Mm.
It's only the last song if we let it be.
Yeah.
And that was another quote she said in the film. And she's basically implying that if you never finish the movie, it never ends.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
You
Because she
know?
would always leave the
Yeah,
musical.
she would always leave
Yes.
before they ended because she's like, well, I hate the endings. I hate to see
Yeah.
the fun end. And that's how her life goes.
Yeah.
She's singing until she dies.
Yeah, literally.
It never ends for her.
Yeah.
So she does die in a happy place, sort of. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
In a fucked up way.
God,
But
and
she
it
did
happens
die
so quick.
doing what she... Yo, when it happens, you're just like... I was like, yeah, damn.
There's an episode of The Twilight Zone I want you to watch. I got to find out where Twilight Zone is streaming. It might be on Paramount Plus because it's a CBS show. Anyway, it's the only episode of The Twilight Zone that wasn't made for the show.
Okay.
It was like a short French film that
nice.
Rod Serling saw and loved, and it's based on a Ambrose Bierce short story from the 1800s.
Okay.
It's incredible. It's called An Occurrence at Owl Creek Bridge.
All right, well, just send it to
Yeah,
me, bro.
I will. I'll find out where it is, and I'll let you know where to check it out because it's. I think you would find it really interesting.
All right, you know I love like sci-fi,
but it's not like any other episode of Twilight Zone, and I think it's a short French film.
All right, well I like French
from like the early '60s.
I love French.
It's
I know French New Wave feel to it.
Yeah,
I love French '60s films. They're the best.
Yeah, and I think, and once you watch it, you'll know why I want you to watch it.
All right, I watched a great French '60s film last night, Les Samurai. Absolutely incredible. You know what? I'll put it like this. What's his name was watching this film? Martin Scorsese when he made Taxi Driver, Nicholas Winding-Refn when he made Drive, David Fincher when he did The Killer. They were all watching this film. It's incredible French hitman movie. It's super cool.
Look, The Killer is a French hitman comic.
Yeah, and it's David Fincher was definitely watching this movie when he made the Killer, bro. He was like, all right, I'm gonna take this comic and this movie to make it work. Crazy. All right. What's aged the best?
Oh, God, you know what? I don't think anything has really aged the worst because we've said this before, or at least I've rambled on about it, that when a film takes place in a certain time period, can it age bad? Yeah, can it age badly if you realize this is specific to that time?
I think what's aged the best, York's performance. I think looking back, I'm sure it's better watching it now than watching it back in 2000.
I think by the end, you're like, this is incredible. What she's done is incredible.
Yeah.
But while you're watching it, you're like, what the fuck am I watching?
Yeah, you're like, this is insanity.
Why is she letting this happen?
Yes.
Yeah, I think that's what it is.
Frustrated.
Yeah,
and that's how, bro, all Lars movies will frustrate you at some point. Because, like, when you watch Dogville, bro, I almost turned it off. I'm just getting so mad. And I'm like, a movie shouldn't be making me this mad. Yeah. I should not be getting mad at something that's supposed to entertain me. And it's making me so fucking upset. And I'm like, but I have to keep watching it because this fucking filmmaker is bringing that out of me emotionally.
Yeah. So he's like, obviously good at what he does.
Oh, my God.
Because if you're just sitting there, like, tapping your foot, waiting for the next thing to happen.
No, I'm sitting there like this, like, these motherfuckers. I'm like, how the fuck? I'm cussing at the screen alone by myself, screaming at the screen, getting pissed off. I'm like, tossing a lighter in the air, getting mad. I'm like, what the fuck? I'm like, I had to pause it at one point and like kind of talk to myself about it. It was like pissing me that. It was because, dude, we'll do Dogville down the road. Yeah. You're gonna be like, first of all, you're gonna be like, I can't believe Nicole Kidman signed up for this shit. I can't believe it. Is he asked more out of her than he did of Bjork. Obviously, Bjork had to sing and dance, but the situations he puts her in this film, I'm like, Nicole, you really wanted to say, I ain't no fucking popcorn flick chick. I'm a fucking actor, bro. And she definitely made the statement. But anywho.
Well, look, post Tom Cruise, I hate to say it that way, she really...
Oh, she fucking
some
flourished.
Ballsy stuff.
She
that,
flourished.
Like, yeah.
I feel like he was probably like, don't be doing this kind of role or that kind of role. He might have been. I don't know. He was like, I don't know.
Yeah, because but they're two... when they were together, you know, like they probably both had the same goal in mind for themselves. So they would have been probably butting heads.
Yeah.
Whereas like Keith Urban, at least, who she's been married to for how long now? Like
y'all are in different games.
Yeah, exactly. So it's different. You can support each other in different ways.
It's like, hey,
you're not competing.
Yes, you're not competing. Yes, because you know, like, especially when they did movies together, it's like, who's the star of this shit?
Yeah, obviously Nicole Kidman's ass and Eyes Wide Shut.
My Lord, bro. Oh my Lord. Every time I watch it, I'm like, God damn, Tom, you let that go? I'm like, you let that go? That tall drink of water? My
She's a
Lord.
redhead.
Yeah, she is. Oh, she's so fun. But I'm like, dude, I don't know. He's like, Lars is kind of like a Kubrick type of dude, just a psycho who likes bleak movies.
I could kind of see it. This is my first Lars von Trier film.
Oh, man.
But I can sort of see it based on this, how, like, but it's about the human condition.
It is.
So it's almost a more natural thing, instead of showing how antithetical to life musicals really are.
Mm-hmm. We're gonna have to do Breaking the Waves. That's a good follow up to this one. So the next one I'm gonna have you do is Breaking the Waves. It's incredible. Emily Watson and Stellan Skarsgård.
Didn't she win?
She got Oscar nom. I don't know if she won. She might have won.
Yeah, I thought, because I remember hearing about this way back when.
I think she won. Absolutely incredible performance. I was like, yet again, made me cry at the end. Dude, I ain't gonna lie. Lars has made me cry a lot. Like, weirdly. He either makes me laugh my ass off or he has me in tears. Because, like, the House of Jack built is just fucking hilarious to me. But it really makes me question myself as a person because, yeah. And whenever we watch it, you're going to be like, Dom, the fact that you were laughing at this, I think I'm questioning you.
I don't know. I'm a pretty sick fuck.
Yeah, you are. Yeah, you might be like, that was funny.
Dude, I think Fight Club is a comedy.
Fight Club's hilarious.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
So is MASH, the movie.
MASH is
one of the darkest, funniest.
Dude.
Yeah.
It definitely grossed me, because I watched it not that long ago. It grosses me out at parts, but it is funny as shit, dude.
Yeah.
Just everyone's chemistry was just there, and it just worked in this weird comedic way. But all right, what stage the best? I have Bjork's performance. And I had, in what's age the worst and the best, shaky cam.
Well, I think I know. I have something else for worst, which is also a nitpick for me. Shaky cam, yeah, kind of, because like this is before like Paul Greengrass kind of perfected it with like the Bourne sequels. Yeah, Doug Liman did the first one. Because like I think once they went more digital, like with the Bourne Supremacy and the Bourne Ultimatum, it was easier to do like the handheld stuff and make it look better.
Make it look like it enhances
the
film.
Instead of kind of like distracting you.
Yes. Yeah. Because when I first watched this, I was like, oh, here this guy goes again with this goddamn handheld. Looks like he's just waving his arm around.
He gave it to Michael J. Fox.
Yeah. Bro.
And I love Michael J. Fox. But if someone has Parkinson's, don't give him something steady. Lord. Michael J. Fox is one of my heroes growing up.
He's great. Did you watch his documentary?
I did not. I need to.
Bro,
because
everyone who watched it said they cried. They were like, it was incredible.
I grew up with Family Ties, Teen Wolf, Back to the Future.
Back to the Future.
1, 2, and 3.
Yeah, 1 through 3 bangers.
The secret of my success. Dude, I love the Frighteners.
Frighteners, yo. I was going to say
I think Frighteners. Actually, to me, that's his best role.
It's a cult classic now, bro. A lot of people say that. I've heard so many people say that.
I saw that in theaters.
Damn.
Dude, because I loved Michael J. Fox. I still do.
Man, but Michael J. was the DP.
And that, God, dude, the Frighteners, there's something about early Peter Jackson, like pre-Lord of the Rings.
Before Lord of the Rings.
Because he was so inventive. I mean, he still is, don't get me wrong, but like...
He got commercial, though.
Yeah, because the Frighteners, obviously the budget, he didn't have the budget he had with Lord of the Rings. So when I say creative, I mean, he figured out ways to do things with a smaller budget, and it's just incredible.
And a lot of times people flourish that way.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I had...
I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, what you got?
Okay, the other thing that I think aged poorly is the music, and I'll tell you why.
What, the song she was singing in it?
Yeah, the song she was singing in it, because it's not necessarily the music that aged poorly, but because of the time period, it's not time period appropriate. So it suffers from dirty dancing disease, where the songs are clearly from the 80s, but we're expected to think they're from the 60s. Yeah,
you're right. You're right.
So I noticed it with the stomp thing in the warehouse,
in the factory
when they're working. I'm like, wait, that doesn't sound like it, and that's why I was confused about the time period.
Yeah, I'm like, a lot of shit will. Like I said, it took me about 40-something minutes to figure out, to get a pinpoint on where they were at.
And that's one of my nitpicks too. But it's also, that's why I think it's aged poorly, because if you're like, wait, this takes place here, the music should sound different. Yeah, and that's my.
It would have definitely had a more 60s boppy type of upbeat type, like how like Sound of Music type shit. Yeah, like, it would have definitely been more.
Yeah, because if she loved musicals, the music should have reflected
the music she was seeing in the film she was seeing. Because there wasn't like she wasn't watching Bob Fosse yet, or dudes like that weren't out yet. So yeah, she didn't have that to go off. Like Gene Kelly was probably her hero.
That's probably why she named her son Gene.
Yes, I'm guessing.
Yeah, that's what I was
Gene
thinking
Kelly.
too. Yeah,
I was like, it's got to be after G. Kel.
Yeah.
So so that's why. Yeah, so I had that for What Stage Worse. That was a good one too.
Yeah.
Most rewatchable scenes. There's a few.
There's
a few.
There's actually quite a few.
There's a few. I'm like, because it's a 2.5 hour movie. So it's like, so I'm like, you're like, this movie feels like she probably, but then when you're like, you kind of needed all that stuff to build it the way it is.
Yeah, I'm glad it was. I probably could have watched the longer film.
That's what I'm like, it definitely, like, especially when you hit the second half, like after she kills Bill, it just kind of flies through to the end. And
this is before Kill Bill Volume 1
Yes, this is before Kill Bill came out.
Yeah.
And Tarantino does love Von Trier.
So maybe he just got the idea
Kill
for
Bill,
it.
and that's what I'm going to call this.
Yeah.
And like he does. Tarantino said Dogville is one of the best movies ever made. He was like, just the fact that this man made a whole movie on a stage and it's that effective is just insane. But I had when she slaps her son for skipping school, she slapped the shit out that little motherfucker.
Yeah,
she said, "You hanging out with those automobile thieves?" I was like,
that's right. She did say that.
She just had me cracking up. Like I laughed at that, and I'm like, I know most people probably didn't laugh at that at all. They were probably like, "Yeah, this kid skipping school, put him in his place." I thought it was funny as hell, just the way she did it. So, like, he gets out the car, she's quick. She didn't even ask no questions first.
That's the type of parenting style it was.
She said, she was like, I'm not that type of mother, but I'm this type of mother.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So that shit, that was just funny as hell to me. And Bill brings him by, and that kind of shows you the relationship she has with Bill.
Yeah.
So they're close.
Yeah, it sets it up. You're right.
And then, of course, when Selma tells Bill she's blind.
Yeah.
And they have this that was when Bjork's performance started becoming believable to me. Because like you said, I was like, what the fuck is wrong with her?
Yeah, why does she sound Irish in one scene and then not another? Like they're always after her Lucky Charms. What is going on here? What is going on?
So, but what she tells them, I'm like, I was like, damn, okay. And then a lot more.
Because her vulnerability. She finally let somebody in.
You're like, this is starting to make sense.
Yeah.
So, and a lot of that made me wonder if she liked Bill a little bit. That was one of my unanswerable questions. Did she have a crush on Bill for real? Because she trusted Bill more than like anyone.
We can talk about that then, because there might be a definitive answer.
Because I'll save it for the questions. All right.
Okay.
All right, then the next one, the night shift music number.
Oh yeah.
Super fun.
Yeah, it was like I said. Machine. I said a couple minutes ago. It reminded me of like Stomp. Yeah, everyone's just starting to hit whatever the fuck is around.
Whatever. Yeah, they grab 2 pieces of plywood and smack metal. Like, but it's like it seemed impromptu. Yeah, it's very impromptu. The guys are in their clothes. Even Kathy's dancing. Everyone who's there is dancing.
Yeah,
and it's really funny and fun. And she fucks up the machine. She breaks it. And they're riding her ass. They're like, bitch, you got to move faster. Like, they're like, the chick's like, chop, chop.
Yeah.
They're like, what are you doing?
On night shift, you move faster.
She was like, this ain't day shift, bitch. This ain't, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Kathy has to come and save her fucking ass, as usual, because Kathy saves her ass through this whole film. But, yeah, Kathy comes and bails her out. And homeboy's like, I ain't put you on, so I ain't paying. She's like, I'm here on my own free will. This bitch working for free to help her friend. Shows you the type of person Kathy is. Next one. When Bill stays in the house, Selma hides her money.
Oh my God, when he pretends to leave.
He pretends to leave.
Oh my God. And she's just like, Bill?
And she's Bill. And he's like, and she got the glasses off and she looks super Asian.
Yeah,
and
she does.
Yo, her eyes are like barely even open.
Yeah,
Like for real, I'm not even trying to be funny. Like, she really does look like an Asian person there. And I'm like, damn, you're from Iceland, but like, I wonder if she has some like Asian ancestry, because I'm like, she looks very Oriental.
Depending on where, they like the longitude and latitude of Iceland is compared to other cultures that have that.
Went overseas and
that's true.
Way back when, and you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But it was just she looks so vulnerable.
I just realized. I'm sorry. As I explain stuff, you can see me doing hand motions, and no one else can. So I'm just having these weird long pauses as I'm trying to but I'm showing I just realized that. I'm sorry.
Guys,
sorry,
trust
everybody.
me. Any long pause is usually backed up with hand gestures that would give you context if you were watching us visually.
Yes.
But so she's very vulnerable in the scene.
Yeah.
She's standing there. She's like, Bill, and it's really sad because you're like, damn, bro, this woman really is blind. Yeah. And you know what he's gonna do, especially if you're a Lars von Trier veteran. By the time I watched this, I had already jumped on the Trier train, and I was like, this motherfucker is about to be the shadiest, most disgusting person. I already knew.
I could tell what he was doing.
And he's standing, and you see it in his face. You see the evilness in his face.
Yeah, because he just confessed that, like, his wife is bleeding him dry.
Mm-hmm.
And he doesn't know what to do to get out of it because he can't be honest with her.
Insane.
And that's what it is, because he can't be honest. Everything spirals out of control.
Yep. Crazy.
Yeah.
Next one, when Selma steps down in the musical.
Oh,
it's a sad moment, bro, because you know she didn't want to.
And you can tell the director didn't want her to either.
No, I want you. And he was like, look, whatever part you want. He was like, you can play the little shitty part. He's like, I'll add to this part and make it, I'll boost it up so it's a part. And like,
she can even shuffle her feet a little bit.
Yeah. He was like, you like to do your little tap dance shit.
Yeah.
And it was just sad because, there was better options than Selma.
Yeah.
But that's who they wanted because she had the passion. She loved this. And they wanted to do that for her and it just shows you how good of a person Selma is. And it just doesn't make sense that she would do the shit she's being accused of.
And the way that the director like kisses the top of her head, it shows that he really did love her, even if she wasn't his type.
Mm-hmm. She definitely wasn't his type.
But he loved her enough, and I think that's when he's like, you'll always be my perfect Maria.
Yep. That was an unconditional love. That was like they were I feel like he was only maybe a little bit older than her.
Yeah.
They were like best friends.
Yeah.
They probably watched musicals together. She listened to him.
Yeah, I'm sure he loved the musicals.
I mean, I'm saying obviously he did, because he might have been on the fence orientation wise.
Well, back then
he couldn't say nothing.
Yeah,
he wouldn't say nothing, but he did. He could go either way for sure.
Yeah,
I don't know. Maybe all right.
Yeah.
Next one, I had when Selma and Jeff are walking on the train tracks, and he figures out Selma is blind.
Oh yeah, and then she's like, I can see,
and almost gets killed.
Yeah. Yeah,
dude, she almost dies a few times, bro.
Yeah.
Like she almost gets hit by a truck, a train, and Jeff's like, "Yo, whoa," because he figures out because she kicks the tracks as she walks, so she knows where she is. And Jeff is a little smarter than I gave him credit for. So like, he was
because he seems slow.
He does. He definitely does.
But he's just like, in that area, and I hate to say this because I've worked in factories and stuff. Factory workers aren't the smartest people in the world, and I hate to say that because I was a factory worker.
Mm-hmm.
But they don't want you to be. My one boss told me one time, like, I don't pay you to think. I paid you the same repetitive thing over and over again.
Yep.
So they're not looking for like, an Albert Einstein type, unfortunately. And that's not Jeff's fault or anyone who works in a factory. It's not their fault. It's like you kind of get pigeonholed into like these constant repetitive like reruns all the time. But that's what helped Selma keep her life
going. Yep, she needs that. She has to. Yep, all right. Of course. Selma kills Bill.
Oh my God, yeah.
That's just
that's insane. And even the musical number right after.
Yes, and the music I had when Selma kills Bill and the song that follows.
Yes.
That like, and it just really, that's the musical number that really shows you this shit is in Selma's head.
Yeah.
Because the wife does not respond that way, but that's how she feels like she should be treated and how we feel like she should be treated. But as the audience.
Maybe the wife wanted out too, but maybe she didn't know how to get out of the marriage.
She didn't want out.
No? You don't think so?
Especially because she thought he was a golden goose.
Yeah.
She might have wanted out after he died, finding out, well, he had no money.
Yeah.
She was telling the truth. I'm a lie on stand.
Yeah. She probably did.
Yeah, so maybe after that. But she seemed, why would you want to get rid of him? He was handsome, tall, respected figure, had the status, now the money.
Yeah.
Come on, back in 1959,
yeah.
ain't no woman leaving that kind of dude.
Yeah.
Like shit, that's he's top of the food chain for men back then. I got a couple more. When Selma gets arrested at the rehearsal.
Oh my God, and they're carrying her out.
In the way. Yeah. Oh, that was so sad, bro.
Yeah, during that musical number.
Yes, that musical number, I'm like, oh.
Yeah.
And then
yeah. That was the one where it's like they'll always catch me or something, right?
Yep. And it's sick because you feel as soon as she walks in there, you feel that tension. You're like, oh my god, y'all need to leave because we didn't expect you, Selma. As soon as they said that, she should have knew. Like, yo, these motherfuckers.
Well, she kept trying to leave.
She did,
but then he's like, "No, wait, I already called the cops.
Watch us do this number. Come on, watch." Selma, she's like, "I can't see shit."
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like, she's like, "Watch."
And Jeff is just like,
he's like, "Oh yeah." It was his idea to go, wasn't it?
I think
it was. He was like, "You want to go?" Because they pay for the surgery. He's like, "You want to go to rehearsal?" And she's like, "Yeah, let's go, Jeff, even though I can't see a goddamn thing."
But he doesn't know.
He don't know.
Or no,
he knows.
Oh, yeah, that was after
I don't think he knows.
The train.
I still don't think anyone knows it's as bad as it is, though.
Yes.
I still think she's able to cover it up enough. Because I'm like, this bitch is going to kill herself.
Because she only goes to places that she has memorized.
Yeah. She ain't going nowhere foreign.
Yeah.
All right. When Selma her trial. Just a mess.
Yeah.
They bring in the singer or the actor, that she lies and says she was sending money to. And he's like, I had never seen this bitch in my life.
Yeah.
And then like they throw everything. I mean, their lawyers were good.
Yeah.
Because they had her hemmed up. And of course, Selma.
Well, her lawyer was court appointed. So.
Yeah, she had a fucking public defender.
Yeah, public defender. Thank you. That's what it was.
Yeah, I mean, same thing.
And they're always overworked and they don't have enough time to give a shit about their clients.
They really don't. And as I'm like, bro, the main thing, all you had to do, court appointed public defender, is just prove that fucking Bill ain't have no money in the bank.
Yeah.
You prove that, you have a strong case to at least get her out the death penalty.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, if you could just prove that Bill was at least lying about his finances, then there's a reasonable doubt that she killed him for a purpose and that he did steal the money.
Yeah.
So, especially when you got her reputation, you have her boss loved her. He didn't want to fire her.
No, not at all.
He did not. He was like, we need to get an office joint. Yeah, we get you an office joint. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Kathy, Jeff, her bosses, her co-workers, her the director, all these people can stand up and tell you the type of woman she was.
Yeah.
And so
she had a lot of character witnesses.
She really did. That's what I was like, why we got these people? What kind of lesson? I'm like, you got the Walmart clearance lawyer. I'm like, you got the clearance section Walmart lawyer for real.
Yeah.
And then I had two more. Okay. When she's singing My Favorite Things in the cell.
Oh, yeah.
Before she dies.
Oh, and yeah, right before.
Something about... Because she sings it a few times in the film.
Yeah, but she mixes up some of the words,
She does.
And I know it's on purpose, but it's interesting at that point because I wonder if she does it because of what's going on in her head.
I think that's why.
Yeah.
And I just loved the way her voice sounded in the scene. I thought that was my favorite moment of her singing in the film. And because it had the most emotional weight to it too, because at that moment you knew what was coming.
She's singing to that vent,
to the vent, yes.
Oh yeah, because she can hear. Yeah, she's singing back.
Yes,
that's right.
Like, because she's like, man, it's so quiet in this piece. You know what I mean? And Brenda's like, yeah, how much noise come through.
Yeah, you might even hear a sermon.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And so finally, the 107 steps and the death.
Oh my God, it's crazy because Brenda's counting the whole time.
Yep.
Once she helps her get up, she's like, my legs don't work.
Yep. And she's like, oh my God.
She's even telling these guards, like, she can do it herself.
She starts freaking out, dude. Like, pretty much from the moment Brenda comes to get her.
Well, you see her, like, her hand is all twitchy. She's on the bed. And
this scene easily won Bjork Best Actress at Cannes because, my God, she turns it up. Film. Yes, it does. She turns it up from like an 8 to 12 and that I was like, when I first saw it, I was like, I'm not gonna cry, I'm gonna chill out, this ain't gonna get me. Then they put the bag over her head and she starts screaming and Brenda's screaming at them.
Was that after they strapped her to the board?
Yes.
Jesus,
they strapped her to the board.
So she can't do anything.
And then dude, she starts singing and Kathy comes with the glasses and she's like, Gene got his surgery and she gives her the glasses and she's singing the song and it's so much hitting you at once as a viewer. I couldn't help. I was overwhelmed with emotion. I couldn't help but cry. I was like, fucking hell.
As soon as right after that phone rang.
Bro, And and like
I
Lars
thought,
doesn't try and trick you. He's
but
telling you it's about to come.
But in my head, I'm like, maybe it's a part.
Maybe
Yeah.
don't do it.
Yeah.
That's what you want.
Yeah.
And as a viewer, knowing this director and how much of an asshole he is to his characters, I've still had that hope. And,
Really?
And in the back of my head, I knew this motherfucker wasn't going to do that shit. And I'm like, it's coming, but maybe. And then it comes, and bro, my eyes were filled with water. I was like, Jesus Christ. And I was like, after it ended, I just didn't even know how to feel. I knew I loved what I saw.
Yeah.
And I knew I witnessed something very great, but I was just like, I had to process it over a couple of days because I'm like, it makes you think about what you do in certain situations in all aspects. If you were Selma, if you were Bill, if you were all these people, if you were Kathy, if you were Jeff.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I think I would have went about everything differently than everyone here, but I still feel why everyone did what they did except Bill. Fuck him.
Yeah.
Bill,
Bill was the worst.
You're the worst. Yeah. So it's one of the most powerful ending scenes to any film, honestly, you're going to see in the 21st century. So I got to say, Lars wrote and directed his ass off with this. And there's a lot not to like. This is a very art house film.
Yeah.
But it's very, very well written and plot driven and well acted. And I think if you have a heart and soul, if you have children, if you've ever felt for something greater than oneself, you can get a lot out of this film. And it will touch you if you have a soul at all.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
And it's also about like how shitty American society was.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
And how you'll turn on each other.
Yes. And how the justice system can fuck you.
Yeah, yeah.
You know?
Especially if you don't seem like
the right type.
Yeah,
yes. She was foreign. Like you said, Russian ass sounded name.
In a way, it reminded me of like old episodes of The Twilight Zone, because The Twilight Zone was pretty much designed to do like morality tales where, like, at the time, because it was late 50s, early 60s, where like white people did bad things to white people because that's the only way that you might be able to see that something is wrong at that time.
Yeah.
And I hate to say that, but
that's
like
kind of crazy to think about, man.
Yeah, so you couldn't see like the real thing. Like in this one, it was real because she was like, an Eastern European woman.
Yes.
So she was actually a foreigner, but like, what if she was brown?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
If she was brown, it'd probably be even worse because, it'd be like, well, get rid of this motherfucker anyway.
Yeah,
this is pre-civil rights, like before it really got popping.
Yeah.
I'm guessing it's 1959. That's my guess. Maybe 60. So, that was when the civil rights was really just kind of starting to go. So, this could have been bad if she was,
And that's the kind of stuff I think about watching it once I realized the time period.
She was Asian. Oh, would
yeah.
have been terrible. Well, this is right off World War II, so Asian, it wasn't a good climate for Asians at the time.
And plus Korea just ended and we're starting to get into Vietnam too.
Yeah, dude.
So
that's
like,
what it is. It's not a good time period to be Asian right now in America. So that scene is just insane, guys. If you've never seen this, sorry to spoil it, but it's still gonna hit you. You can listen to everything we say.
I don't even have anything funny to say.
That's what, right? You've not a lot of jokes. Well, we've had some, but like
I could just recycle the one like she didn't even see it coming.
She didn't. She did not.
But that's just recycling.
But it's like, it's still so. It's like fuck though, man. You just feel so bad.
Yeah, you do.
Best characters.
Selma, Jeff, Kathy,
and Brenda.
Oh, Brenda,
security guard.
I forget about Brenda just because
she's only in it for maybe 20 minutes.
Yeah, but she's an important character
piece
for the
end
of her
very
life.
end. Yes,
she's
kind of her support system.
She becomes what Kathy
she's
was
the
before
Kathy
that.
in jail.
Yeah,
in jail, Kathy. Yes.
Yeah.
So those were the best by far. They all come through. They're all great. They're all well acted.
Obviously, Bill's the worst.
Yeah, worst characters. I just said Bill and Linda.
Oh, is that his wife?
His wife. She lies.
Yeah.
She's a piece of shit. She lies, and she just blindly believes. No pun intended. But she does just blindly believe everything her fucking husband says.
Wait, so in that respect, I just realized something, and it's not meant to be funny, even though it might sound that way because it's coming from me. So is Selma literally meant to represent the justice system? Because they always say justice is
blind justice.
Yeah.
Because she's always on my arm.
Oh that's where I've seen it before.
Yeah, I was like,
because that's how she's always represented, right?
Yeah, she is. But
she
that's
didn't get any justice.
She didn't. You might be right. Lars loves to explore America and how it was conceptualized and what it's based on. Like that's what Dogville and Manderley are all about. And this is kind of like a precursor to Manderley and Dogville because it was his first film that was kind of set in America. So I'm like, I think you might be right there.
Yeah.
Could be like, it may sound like a joke, but I think it's a joke with a lot of truth to it.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Oh, see, your guns are out, so I saw it.
Yeah, I pulled it out. I pulled them out today. It's getting warmer out, you know.
It is.
Dude, it was hot as fuck in the gym today. I was in there sweating my tail off. So, yeah, I had no choice.
By the taint sweat of Susan Boyle.
For real. Oh, Susan Boyle. All right, nitpicks.
Oh, just my thing about the music, really.
Music.
And I wasn't sure if because of when the Sound of Music musical came out, when places started to put it on themselves after Broadway.
Yeah.
So it was kind of iffy because of that Dwight Eisenhower picture. I'm like, when the fuck does it take place?
Yeah.
I know it's late 50s, early 60s somewhere, but when the fuck? Because, you know, obviously after the movie came out in 65 or 64, whenever the Sound of Music came out, obviously people would have been like, we need to put this on now, you know? But I wasn't sure about that. So
that's a good nitpick. That is a good one, bro.
It's just, I expect that to be, you know, to do your research and to know.
Yeah.
And since I don't know, I'm pissed off.
Because I don't know. Right, though. Because when I first watched it, I was like, when the fuck is this supposed to take place? I definitely was confused by that. I had, and like, how her lawyer just couldn't prove the bill was broke.
Oh, that motherfucker.
Like,
dude.
I feel like it would have been so easy for a lawyer to obtain bank records to prove that this guy was broke.
The other lawyer that she was going to get, he was like, I can have this paperwork in by tomorrow.
By tomorrow, bro. Yeah. He was like, bro, this ain't shit. He's like, bro, I might even be able to get you out of this bitch. Like, you know what I'm saying? He's like, he said your last lawyer was extremely incompetent.
Yeah.
Like, I was like, yo, because I was like, her lawyer blows. I ain't never spent a day in law school. I definitely would do better than this guy.
Yes.
I'm like,
just from having watched
enough law shit. Yeah. I'm like, geez.
Dude, A Few Good Men was on the other day.
Oh my God, that movie is so good, bro.
Yeah.
My man Rob Ryan.
But the thing is, like, all Jack Nicholson, right? All he wanted was a Mountain Dew, right?
Mountain Dew.
Did you order the Code Red?
Yeah.
Yeah, I wanted a fucking Mountain Dew.
Yes. You know, but they couldn't handle the truth.
That's right. That's right. Because, you know, they just wanted regular Mountain Dew.
They did. Code Red is so good, though.
It is. It's great. Anyway.
Demi Moore's best performance is in that film.
I believe so, yes.
Because she needed a Rob Reiner.
She did.
To pull it out. Because she sucks in most things she's in.
And look, even Christopher Guest, he has a small role, but his role is, like, serious and dramatic.
It is.
And you're not used to that from Christopher Guest.
You're not. And I think Rob Reiner was the first one to show us Tom Cruise could really do some hard drama. You know, because I think
it was right after Born on the 4th of July.
You're right. You're right.
So
that's
it was Oliver
90
Stone.
Or 89?
89.
89. Yeah. You're right.
So I think Oliver Stone did it first.
He did. You're right. He definitely did.
And then Rob Reiner's like,
right. Rob Reiner's like, I can do more.
Yeah, yeah.
You're absolutely right. And Born on the 4th of July is one of his best performances, especially when he gets home.
Yeah.
Oh, because he actually is sad in there, man. When he's like,
but then you have Ron Howard doing Far and Away.
Yeah.
And Nicole Kidman.
And Nicole, you know, and then you got fucking The Firm came out.
Oh,
right
yeah.
then too.
Yeah.
I love that movie. It's so flawed, but I love it.
The Firm, I think, was actually about David Prowse's ass.
It might.
I think that's
yes, it was, you know, in the suit.
That's right.
He was a big ass dude.
He was.
He's randomly in a Clockwork Orange.
Yeah, he's the guy
carries the guy who can't move around.
He's also the guy that helped train Christopher Reeve.
Trained Reeves, right?
Yeah,
that's right.
Superman,
yeah. I love Christopher Reeves. Rest in peace. I gotta send you that South Park episode.
Oh yeah,
Hackman. Gene Hackman he becomes a hero, and Christopher Reeves becomes a villain. Okay. Recasting couch.
Oh, see, I
got 4 good ones, bro. If you don't like them, I'm gonna be pissed.
Okay, let's see.
Selma. I felt like there was only one for Selma, Lady Gaga.
God, you know what? I think she could do it.
Who else could sing and dance as good and act?
Yeah, you're right.
Like no one else. I couldn't think of any other. Because there's actresses who They can do a little song and dance.
What about your girl Anna Kendrick?
I hate her.
but I mean, as
she
far
can't
as
sing, she can't sing and dance, but Lady Gaga's way better than her.
oh yeah,
Like,
no,
so,
I'm not arguing that.
Like I was she maybe could. I just don't know if she got the dramatic chops to pull it. And I think Gaga does.
What about I guess
I'm like, if Liza Minnelli wasn't super old, that would have been my top choice.
Actually, she would probably have been perfect.
If they would have made it came out in the 70s?
Yeah.
Oh my God, hell yeah.
Yeah, like
it would have been
Arthur.
no one else. Yeah, it would have been no one else that could have played her. I love her and Arthur. Oh, I just love her, bro. Dude, she's a gem.
You need to watch Arrested Development.
Dude, I do. She's in that?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
All right, I need to watch
She plays Lucille too. Because their mom's name is Lucille, so they call her Lucille too.
too.
Yeah. And she's great.
That's Jason Bateman, right? And Michael Cera?
Yeah.
Yes. Okay, I need to watch. Because, it's on Netflix, right?
Yeah, yeah.
All right, I need to watch
because she used to babysit Ron Howard when he was a kid. And Ron Howard produced the show and he narrates it.
That's insane.
Yeah, because I know you're a Ron Howard fan.
I love Ronnie Howard.
I know.
I love his daughter.
I know you love his daughter. I know you love...
I love him, though.
Yeah, yeah.
I do love him. Solo,
because without him,
man.
he wouldn't have his daughter.
Dude,
Solo is fantastic.
Cocoon, A Beautiful Mind.
I was thinking about
fucking
Solo
Apollo
earlier.
13. Like, dude, he had
Willow.
bangers. Willow.
Splash.
Damn, he did do Splash.
The Night Shift.
And then let's not forget his acting credits. Happy Days, American Graffiti. Like, bro, Ron Howard
Grand Theft Auto.
Underrated.
Yeah.
I never saw that.
I think he directed that too, one of his first movies.
Saw that.
I think it's called Grand Theft Auto. It was in the 70s.
He's good. He can do no wrong.
Yeah. Look, Andy Griffith's show.
Oh, yeah.
Just growing up.
Right, just growing up.
Yeah.
Bill, you're probably going to disagree with me. This is the one you're going to disagree with me on. Josh Brolin.
You know what? I could see him.
He can play that stern. Like, he got the chops. And I could see him playing an asshole like that.
I can too. My only issue would just be
too handsome.
I think David Morse is about a foot taller than Josh Brolin.
Yeah, he is tall. He's like 6'3" or 4.
Yeah, so like that's the only thing in my mind.
And I feel like
I would be thinking of it taller.
You do, and I feel like
you need that stature.
You need that stature. You're right.
Yeah.
Damn. Who else is that fucking tall? Ain't nobody in that age bracket, I feel like, that tall with chops.
You know who might actually be pretty decent?
Tim Robbins? Is he too old?
He might be too old. Tom Hopper, who plays... Have you watched Umbrella Academy?
Still haven't watched that.
Okay.
Cora keeps telling me to watch
Yeah. Because, I mean, the comics are awesome, but the show is awesome in a different way. But Tom Hopper, he's about probably like 6'5".
Okay.
And if they just made him look a little older, because he might be mid-30s.
Yeah, he's a little young for it, but that could work.
But he has the height, and after seeing him in different things, I could see him, because he could be dramatic, he could be funny, he can be all these things, and I think it could work.
Is he built? Is he slim?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Oh,
yeah, because I feel like, David Morse is a big-ass nigga, dude.
Yeah.
So, yeah, he's a big dude.
He is.
All right, for Jeff, if you don't love this, I'm gonna jump out the
Sam
window.
Rockwell.
Yes,
really?
It has to be.
I think he would do that perfectly.
He's got that build similar. He could play that like slightly off guy, but still super emotional, loving. Like
almost just as innocent as Selma, but not.
But a little less,
a little
naive.
more worldly.
Yes, a little more grounded in reality.
Yes,
I was like, I feel like Sam Rockwell would be tailor made for this role.
Actually, yeah.
I was like, it would have to be. And for Kathy, I had Cate Blanchett to pair with Gaga.
You know what? That would work.
The age bracket is there.
Yeah, that would work.
And the chops are there.
Yeah.
Now it's kind of hard to get Cate Blanchett in your movie to play a role that's not that it's a small role, but
yeah, because she's
still Cate Blanchett is still a leading lady.
Yeah, and unfortunately, she's at that level where, like, no matter who she plays, you're going to see Cate Blanchett.
She's going to take over the film. Yeah, she could take over the film.
Because you could even have, even at her age now, like Meryl Streep or something. I
thought about her, all right? I was like, Meryl still looks young enough to possibly play a woman in her early 60s.
Yeah.
But I'm like, it still would become the Meryl Streep show.
Yeah, it would be.
Because it's Meryl Streep.
Yeah, because that's what happened. Into the Woods is a great film, but, like, that's Meryl Streep as the witch. It's not the witch.
Yeah,
you know,
it's
like it's Chris Pine as the prince. It's not just the prince.
Yeah,
so
that's what I'm like. All the actresses I thought of, they're just the star power so high.
You know who's actually a really good singer, and would probably be able to pull off the Bjork part incredibly well? Your girl Emily Blunt, because she was in Into the Woods.
You know, so I thought about Emily Blunt.
Yeah.
And I was like, Emily Blunt might be a little too pretty.
You need someone.
Like, you need, because Gaga's
You need
pretty,
someone more unconventional.
but she's not. Yes, everyone doesn't find Lady Gaga attractive. Like I'm talking to Cora, and I brought up Emily Blunt. She's like, God, Emily Blunt. I was like, I know. I know Emily Blunt is pretty.
How did Jim from The Office get Emily Blunt?
And it's weird, right? I mean, he's not bad looking.
John Krasinski is, yeah.
He's got
but everyone just imagines him with Pam from The Office.
That is true.
That's the problem.
They're like one of the best on-screen couples ever. Yeah,
that's the problem.
That is the problem. People are like, y'all should be together for real.
Yeah,
you know?
It's like, no, that was a show.
That was fake, guys. Like we never even, like. But Emily Blunt, I'm like, dude, she too much star power, and like, well, she's a lead, so that's fine. But I'm like, she's way too pretty, dude. I'm like, someone needs to have this kind of homely look.
What about from Licorice Pizza?
Oh, Elena Ham?
Yeah, Elena Ham.
I mean, she does sing, huh?
Yeah, I mean, she's in a band.
Can dance, but she
learn.
Don't need to be the best.
Yeah,
she is ugly.
What?
I'm sorry, bro. My bad, bro.
That's not what I meant.
I'll be honest. Bjork's more attractive than her.
yeah, but think about it. What if like they remade this film like Paul Thomas Anderson did?
Perfect. Oh my God, that would be fire.
You know what I mean?
That would be fire.
She would be incredible.
If Seymour was alive,
but then you have a Cooper.
Dude,
could
Jeff. Cooper play Jeff? Bro, bring them back. I'm gonna call PTA, but I got some ideas for you.
Yeah.
She could. She's really good. She was so good.
As much as I love Sam Rockwell, like, because they already had kind of a chemistry.
If you wanted to go a little younger with it, it would be good. If you want to take it, because I think Elena Ham's like my age. I think she's like maybe 31 or 2.
Yeah, and Cooper's like early 20s.
Yeah, I was like, that kid's probably like 22 or 3.
But they can make him look a little older if they wanted to.
Yeah, I feel like he should at least be in his 30s.
Yeah.
But they could, because he does have his dad's like kind of older stature. Like even when Philip was young, he looked old.
He did.
So he looked old. Like but when he got old, he stayed looking the same. So it's like now you're just age appropriate.
Yeah.
But you look old. Like in '98, like he was like already looking like he was like 38, 40 years old when he was like 23.
So he had like Wilford Brimley disease.
He did. That is the most deceiving. He doesn't make any sense at all, bro. I'm watching fucking The French Connection, or not The French Connection, The Firm.
Yeah.
And I'm like, this dude is 53 in this movie. He looks like he's 79. It's insane.
And like, think about like when Tom Cruise was 53.
Dude, Tom Cruise looked 40 when he was 53, and this dude was 40, looking 70 in Cocoon.
Yeah.
Looking age appropriate. Like, insane.
Yeah.
All right. So I only had really one unanswerable question.
Okay.
Dude.
And that's
did she have a crush on Bill?
Now, I don't know if she. Okay, so like, I don't know if she would have the emotional maturity to be able to have the kind of crush that we would think of as a crush.
Yes.
She probably admired him because he allowed her and her son to stay there.
True.
And he treated them well, and he looked out for Jean.
Yeah.
When she wasn't able to.
You're right.
So but I don't know if she had the emotional maturity is the best way I could say it. That's why it took me so long to say it. Because I don't think she would think of people in a sexual way, because her focus was always on, I need to do this so my son can see.
That is true. Because I was just like, man, dude, Bill's dead now. Fuck his honor.
Yeah.
Like, tell him what's up. So, like, save your ass. And it's like, do you care about him that much that you don't want to ruin his reputation?
I think she cared about even like her son's perception of him. Because he was a father figure. He was a father,
yes, and he really looked up to him. He did.
So everything is really about her son and having him
and his visual and mental perception of everything.
Yeah.
It's kind of crazy.
So even though it is unanswerable, because I don't know if that's true or not.
But it is a great explanation. I think it's quite logical.
Yeah, so as backward as she seems, everything she does is for a reason, and it's always Jean.
She's quite progressive with her son. So, all right, Jamie. So I'll push you through this.
Yeah.
Give him a grade.
Believe it or not, I would actually give it an A, but if you would have asked me like 2 hours into the film, I
would gave
would
it a
have said
C
it.
minus.
No, I probably would have said about a B, just because of the style and the
Mhm.
filmmaking. But that last 20
The
minutes,
last
man,
20,
it
I was
blows
like,
your
the last
mind.
20 knocks you out, man.
Yeah.
That's what I was like.
Yeah.
When I watched it the other night, like, I was like puttering around doing some other things. And then, like, the last, like, when she gets to jail, I sat down and I was like, all right, I need to get ready for the gym. I'll finish it when I get back.
Yeah.
I ended up watching the whole fucking thing and then going to the gym all emotional.
Wow.
I'm like,
Wow.
great. I'm like, now I'm being lifted all emotionally. Actually helped out the lift. But yeah.
Wow.
So I'm going to give it a solid A as well. I love this film. I've seen it a few times now. I've shown a couple people. It's just, I don't know. Bjork, Lars, they were a dream team, even though they were a nightmare combo. I thought they put something incredible out for us that I think has stood the test of time 24 years later.
You text me something the other night, and after watching the whole thing, you're right. You said it is a family musical.
It's a family. I was like, bro, it's a family musical drama.
And it is actually that. You're right. It's but I had to see the whole thing to understand
the family full dynamic.
The family, it's kind of like Logan.
Yes.
In that way, how that's a family film.
Yes, all these random pieces of a family that really makes a whole. You know, like you got Professor X, you got the little girl.
Yeah, X-23.
You know, and then
Laura.
Laura, and then the dude who can't go in the sun, the albino dude.
Yeah.
Like, that was your little family.
Yeah, he was, oh my God.
What was he in? He was in another hero movie, right?
Well, he was in that character.
Yeah, the actor.
Oh, the actor, Stephen Merchant.
Yeah, what else is he in?
He's, he co-created The Office with Ricky Gervais.
Oh.
You know, the British version. He's been in a lot of stuff.
Like,
but Caliban.
Yes.
I was just stalling till his name came to me.
I like that character.
Yeah.
He hit me. That movie hit me.
his character, not played by him, but Caliban was in X-Men Apocalypse when they were in Egypt. Man. He was the one that was trying to, you know, when Mystique was there with, was it Nightcrawler she was with? And then they went in somewhere.
I still got to watch Apocalypse.
You've never seen Apocalypse?
Dude, no. I stopped at Days of Futures Past.
Dude, believe it or not, I loved Apocalypse.
No, I want to see it. It
looks,
to me, it looks good. People were like, listen, it's not Dark Phoenix.
Well, yeah, Dark Phoenix is trash.
Yeah,
really. But Apocalypse, you know, it's still Bryan Singer directing.
Yeah, I mean, he's a great director.
Oscar Isaac.
Love Oscar Isaac.
And yeah, it's part of those films where like the villain makes sense based on what they're saying.
I just feel like
it's a really good Quicksilver scene.
I'm feeling like it's suffering from following up First Class and Days of Futures Past.
Oh yeah,
back to back slappers.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
How do you make a better to top Days of Futures Past felt like, or First Class felt like, how the fuck they gonna do it? And then you do it.
Yeah.
And it's like, shit.
It's kind of like Dark Knight Rises following The Dark Knight.
Yeah, bro.
The Dark Knight Rises is a great film.
It don't top The Dark Knight.
But how do you follow The Dark Knight?
You can't.
Yeah.
Listen, The Dark Knight was a cultural revolution. Dude.
It was.
What the fuck do we say? I'm still on Team Batman Begins, though. But that's how we'll end this episode.
Yeah.
We're going to do Planet of the Apes 1968 next week.
Charlton Heston's ass.
Yep. Beautiful. I'm Dom.
I am Jamie.
And thank you for watching.